tend to ask people, what is it that you do that pleases you? What do you do that makes you feel good? What is it that you can do that you could share with others that you might be able to make money from? These are the things that we have to look for in the world. You know, when I helped my wife, and this is actually how I started speaking, when I helped my wife discover, by the way, this is not my wife.
You said your wife's Taria.
Yeah, not Kaya. My wife, who was supposed to be here, but couldn't make it because she had to watch the kids, she also is a professional photographer. And it was by way of me kind of pushing her, motivating her, encouraging her to take her hobby of taking pictures at family functions and such, take some classes, hone your skill, start a business. When she realized that she could do that, she discovered her passion. And in helping her discover her passion, that was how I discovered my passion. That's how I went about becoming a speaker. Now, I want to talk about passion for a minute. I'm not even going to look at you just yet. Matter of fact, I might even close my eyes. How many of you, I'm going to look at you, how many of you can honestly say you're passionate about your jobs? That is a first. That is a first. Where, but then again, look at the crowd talking.
Yeah, we're not like 9 to 5.
Exactly. Exactly. I got to throw this whole damn speech. No. Most people aren't passionate about their jobs, and I tell them that that's okay. That's all right.
But the 9 to 5ers may be making more money, at least some of them.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about passion.
There's trade-offs. There's
That's why
trade-offs.
we have more letters after our name and more student loan debt.
But we're talking about passion right now. So, when I left the job, I was making 6 figures. I was happy with it, okay? I'm not making that now, but the trade-off is I have a lot more peace of mind. I get to spend more time with my kids. Hey, I get to put my big one on the bus and be there to pick them up off the bus. All right, I get to, you know, we got my little one getting ready to start school a year early, but hey, who's going to be the one walking them to school? School's right around the corner. I get to do it and pick them up from school, you know. So there's a trade-off. So it's not necessarily about the money. Damn, I said that on camera. No, you know, some people find their passion in gardening, cooking. Some people, such as yourselves, find their passion in helping people become physically fit, becoming physically fit yourselves. And by doing so, you not only make a difference in their lives and your lives as well, but just pretty much when you're walking down the street, you got your tight t-shirt on, and people, like, I want that when I grew up. I want to look strong. You know. So, you know, you make a difference, whether you believe it or not. So, another question I ask people is, what is it that you can't stop thinking about? What is it that's the first thing that's on your mind when you wake up, the last thing that's on your mind before you go to sleep? This is where you find your passion. And I ask people what drives them. And you know, it's okay if they can't answer the question right now. I'm in a room of a lot of achievers right now. I can see that. I'm in a room with maybe some type A personalities. Go out there, you know, balls to the wall, do or die, get fit, no matter what. And that's a beautiful thing. So let's talk about those people that we're trying to help. Okay? How can we encourage them? We have to ask them, what drives you? What gives you your purpose? What makes you wake up wanting to do something? How can you make a difference in the world? And I tend to say passion is what separates the contenders from the pretenders. Okay? We got athletes in the room, no doubt. It takes a lot of skill, right or wrong, to get picked up by a Division I school. We was talking about your son, right? Now, to go from a Division I school to the pros, we already know not everybody's going to make it. And those are all talented individuals, right? Now, out of those people that get drafted, not all of them make it through training camp. And for those who make it through training camp, still, some wind up on the bench while others go on to become superstars. I tend to believe that it's passion that makes the difference. I believe that it's passion that separates those who are the magnificent from the mediocre. That's how I look at it. If you're going to have if you're going to discover what your talents and skills are, you're going to have to become passionate. Okay? And next to being passionate about your talents and skills, you have to enjoy what you do. Not too many people enjoy what they do, which is sad. We got people that go to school for 4, 6, 8 years of college, go out into the world, and they wind up having to do a job that has little or nothing to do with what they spent all those years going to school for. Why? Well, because Sally Mae coming to visit, the student loans has to get paid, all right? And generally people just have to survive. But what I always ask is, do you want to go through life surviving, or do you want to live life? I'm looking at the faces in this room and I see people who want to live life. There was a Chinese philosopher, Confucius, who said, choose the work you love, and you'll never have to work another day in your life. I say that it's your level of passion and enjoyment that makes the difference between having a job and following your calling. Now, although I enjoyed my career in law enforcement, when people would ask me, what do you do? When I was on the job, and they say, what do you do? I would literally, I'd straighten my suit up, you know? And I would say, by vocation, I'm a police officer. However, by passion, I'm a motivational speaker, published author, certified professional life coach. Now look, can't you tell I love what I do? I love this. Statistics show that police officers tend to die within 5 years of retirement. I got 3 years to go, so pray for me. Just pray for me. Now, I've always attributed that to the fact that they don't have anything to transcend into. They don't have anything to go forward to give them the same type of fulfillment or purpose, or maybe even rush and excitement that they may have had when they were on the job. Which is why a few years back, I decided I was going to not be one of those guys. And I found some things that interested me that I wanted to do. Now, my plan was to build myself as a speaker. I was just thinking about speaking. Writing came along later, and coaching came along later. And so my plan was to slowly build these things during the course of what would be a 25-year career in law enforcement. And then once I was done, just transcend into doing these things full time. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard this, but there's a saying that goes, if you want to hear God laugh, tell him what you've got planned. I told God what I had planned, and God had a nice chuckle. He said, I'm glad you found what you wanted to do with your life. Now, I'm going to put some things into motion, shake some things up. You ain't going to have to worry about this police thing no more standing in the way. He's going to let you walk away from it. I was able to walk away from it. Got a nice pension. I'm happy. I'm living my life, following my passion. Now, I want to talk about that Confucius quote for a second. Just another minute more. When he said you won't have to work for the rest of your life, that's not to be taken literally. It's not to be taken literally. Well, producer said, I love what I do. I love eating chicken. I love eating chicken. I don't have to work. No. See, what I would say is game time is when you get to play. But the time it takes to practice, rehearse, prepare yourself, you have slides that's work. Without a doubt. You're fit. Gorgeous. That's work. What I also say is that you need to think about how long, you know what? I was talking about practice and work. How long do you think it takes a recording artist to write a song, rewrite the song, put music to the song, go into the studio, record the song, have the producers produce the song, remaster the song, get the voices right, and all this, and then record it all for one 5-minute song. Now we got CDs that are coming out, what, 12, 15, 16, 17 tracks to a CD? That's time. That's work. Man, that's time and work. So I always tell people, you know what, before I even move forward. I put this in bold print. Allen Iverson, I wanted to make this point, talking about work. Okay? One of the greatest ball players to ever play the game.
Right.
Pure talent. But now he's broke, and nobody in the NBA will touch him. Matter of fact, you can go on YouTube, and you can type in the search box, Allen Iverson, practice, and you'll see videos of him at a press conference, literally ranting about how unimportant practice was to him. He had a horrible work ethic, which has manifested in where his life is today. So it's like, I tell people, if you want to make a difference, you have to realize, as Jeffrey Fox wrote in his book, How to Become a CEO, glory and glamour only come after grunt. If you want to make a difference, you have to believe. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your abilities. If you don't, you have to believe in your product. You have to believe in your service. If fitness is your service, you have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, how is the person that's coming to you to train them going to believe in you? And then how will they learn to believe in themselves? See what I'm saying? So I always tend to share with people, there's an African proverb that goes, if you can conquer the enemy within, the enemy on the outside doesn't stand a chance. You might have gone and talked to a friend about your goals, dreams, talk about that in a minute, and some of them might have said, hey, you might want to fall back from that. That's not necessarily your thing. I tend to look at it like this. Most of the time, the first person to talk you out of your dreams, the first person to talk you out of your goals is not the person talking to you, but the person talking in you. I'll say that again. More often than not, the first person to talk you out of your dreams and your goals is not the person talking to you, but the person talking in you. Like I said, you may go and you may talk to a friend, you may talk to a relative, and they may encourage you to quit, or they may support. And the thing that we have to realize is, when we tell people a story about ourselves, we all have a tendency to either paint ourselves as the hero or the victim. Whichever is going to paint us in the brightest light and give us the most sympathy in the eyes, ears, and hearts of the people that we're speaking to. But what I want you to understand is you can do amazing things when you believe in yourself. You can do the impossible when you believe in yourself. It was belief that proved the world wasn't flat. It was belief that proved man could fly. It was belief that put men on the moon. It was belief that put a black man in the White House. And it was belief that kept him there for a second term. I tend to tell people, if you can believe that a man was beaten within an inch of his life, nailed to a cross, stabbed in the abdomen so he could bleed to death, buried in a cave, and rose from the grave 3 days later and is now watching over you to this very day, how dare you not believe that you can make a few extra dollars? That you can lose a few extra pounds? Especially when you have people in your life who may be depending on you. Don't let that matter.